sea todo. Parece que esta es la de Shadex, Checo, esta es la de Shadex, tenía mucho margin.
Claro que son los Lucas, tenemos Optero, lanza tormentas, empiezan a derretir, caen todos los Lucas. Quisieron jugar puerco, dice el Johan en la primera partida, pues ahí va puerco contra puerco, para puerco, puerco y medio, llega el Bailey.
Ágreda empiezan a focusear los Marauders, serían los tanques, su oportunidad, Alvito Checo, no puede ser, los tanques empiezan a retirar a Reta nuevamente, con todo lo que quieren, se vienen los snipazos, se viene absolutamente todo.
El prisma de Shadow Frog está ahí dentro de Kill, si lo va a caer esa tercera, va a caer la tercera, cae la tercera, focusear tanque cae. Ya tenemos acá, ya no tienen con qué defender el juego Terran y esto es GG y Lilian la empata, gente.
Los poderosos quedan sin protección, intenta quiquear pero no es demasiado. Sigue llegando, llega el Series con la retaguardia muy buena, pero uy, mató un hueso.
Mancha alcanza para...
Esto es el combat de Lilian.
All right, so this is a best of 5 between Checo and Vrog. I don't think I've... All right. So Checo is vetoing Celestial off the bat. All right, Vrog says they are a lower rank. I don't really know what either of these players are ranked anymore, though I have casted Checo several times. The White Rabbit is our first veto. I assume Checo will just veto Celestial. Yep, Celestial, Old Republic. 1 million feet. All right, that is our vetoes done. I believe only 4 vetoes because this is a best of 5. That means Mothership is still in. Is Mothership his first pick, or is he just saying, oh no, Mothership? Oh, that's what I'm trying to tell. Okay, one is Taito. Okay, Taito, Tourmaline, because it helps me when I'm making these games. Ruby, oops, meant to put that in my notepad. Probably Winter Madness, and then Mothership just waiting on the go from Checo. All right. Into game 2 of this now best of 5 series for the Initiate bracket semifinals. It is Checo versus Vrog on Taito Citadel. I don't think I've ever seen Vrog play before. All right. In the top corner of Taito Citadel with the blue Zerg drones, we have Vrog. And in the bottom corner with the red Terran SUVs, we have Checo. All right. Gonna have any shenanigans? Gonna have any cheese? I don't know how Vrog plays. I don't think I've ever casted him before. Checo, I've seen play Bio. I've seen him play Mech. I've seen him mix it up a little bit. But he usually plays a pretty standard form of Terran. Nothing too crazy. All right, we got the natural going down for Vrog. SCV Scout going across the map. Assuming it's a Scout, maybe it's a proxy. One gas build for Checo. Not going to like a fast 2 gas or anything like that. Couple of Overlords going around, scouting for proxies. Pretty normal timings for everything on the side of Vrog and Checo. All right, we scout that there is a base going now, and there's no weird one base all in shenanigans. Pool, gas. Everything's pretty normal. All right, natural going down for the side of Checo. Orbital just finishing up. Reaper in production. Really not a whole lot to talk about in a lot of these early games, unfortunately, unless some shenanigans or cheese happens. I kind of hope that Checo wins this series because it's more fun to cast TVZ than ZVZ, and I assume Saito is likely to win against Coral Viper. I think Saito will just overwhelm him. I have seen Saito play before. He seems like a very strong Zerg. All right, we do get a drone with the Reaper. +1 for Checo. All right, Zergling's chasing him around. Almost got the extractor off. but not quite. Third base going down for the side of Vrog, while Checo is just finishing his natural. We've got a reactor swap there, so we're going to be probably pumping out Hellions, I assume, and not Widow Mines. You can no longer do Cyclones with just a reactor. All right, 28 to 24 workers currently, but mules will make up the difference here. Reaper is still scouting around, being a bit of a nuisance. Got that one drone kill as far as I'm aware. Yep, just one. All right, Reaper and Hellions looking to move out and put on some pressure. All right, we are getting the Overlord Scout through the main. So we're going to see the 111. And we are just currently producing lots of lings. If you have enough lings, yes, Hellions are good against them, but you get the wraparound and they can still deal with them and chase them down very effectively. All right. Catches the swap. So sees that we are maybe going into tank production and Marines, something like that. All right, we're starting a bit of a wall at the front with the Evo chambers. We don't want those Hellions getting in and having a free drone barbecue. And if I sound a little bit low energy today, you know, I'm running on about 4 hours of sleep. But as someone told me earlier this week, you know, that's why God invented Monster. Uh-oh, that's a lot of lings. Reaper Grenade is good. Might be able to get some of these out. Oh no, the surround by Vrog. Absolutely decimating those Reaper Hellions. Oh, but the Liberator in the main gets 3 drones. And pops a couple of larvae. 4 drones go down. You know, maybe not worth it for all of the Hellions and the Reaper as well, but at least he's getting some damage. And I believe the Queen in the main went down too. Oh, Queens did get the Liberator. All right, we do have Zerglings across the map, but the wall off is complete for the side of Checo. Tanks are there. These Zerglings will not be likely to get any actual damage done until Checo tries to move out for a third. Command center is building in the main. What do we have going on at home? Upgrades, +1 melee for the Zerg. Combat shields. Dim started up for Checo. It looks like we are transitioning from the Hellions into a Bio Ball. Oh, Vrog is going to check, or going to scout this move out from Checo. This may actually be a good time for, you know, some attacks on the supply depots. You might be able to force that army to turn around and go home. There are some Marines here, but it's actually not like a ton. You consider, like, these Zerglings might be able to just go and brute force this wall down, and they're in. The Lings are in the base. We do get a good pull up of the supply depot to prevent them from getting into the main. And, you know, this isn't getting a ton of damage done. You know, a couple Marines, but it did stop some mining time. It did force Checo to go back as he was moving up for an attack. Oh, the Banelings don't have speed. They're waddling along. You need to get speed on those puppies. I actually think that if those Banelings had speed, they just slip right in and they decimate that whole mineral line, and that could be game-ending damage. Checo still does not have a base. Vrog is on his a third base. Vrog is on his 4th. Checo needs to be pretty careful here. He's got to get some damage done because if he doesn't go and reduce that worker count and stop the expansion, Zerg is just going to overwhelm him. Get some tanks leapfrogged over here. Oh, the tanks aren't sieged. The tanks aren't sieged. All right, banelings move past the tanks. Oh, and then a bunch of them explode on the tanks instead of on the bio. But Checo got a little bit greedy there. He tried to move in to get the siege tanks into a better position, I guess, where they could probably hit the Nexus. Ooh, big tank hits. Big tank hits. Lots of Zerglings going down. Good pressure here from Checo. Now, in the middle of this, the third base for Checo has gone down. Well, gone up, I should say. And he's getting, you know, workers at it. But we're still in a 10 worker deficit. Oh, the wraparound. Lings are on the tank. We need to pick up these Marines and get out of there. Tanks all go down. Marines get dropped in the main. It probably isn't going to get much done. Marines are falling quickly. But it does just put on the pressure. It's an APM tax. You're running the Zerg around, making them react to you. All right, the next Marine tank push is getting ready from the side of Checo. And we didn't get a ton of damage done with the previous one, but we did clear some creep. We forced the Zerg to stay on his side of the map. All right, we got more barracks going down. We're going up to 8 racks. And we do have 1-1 done. So Checo does actually, technically right now, for the next little while, have the upgrade advantage. There are a lot of Banes here. They will bust this wall and get into the mineral line. All right, but here comes the push from Checo. Get that tank siege. Get that tank sieged. I find so many Terrans move in before their tanks are sieged. And that is when they are very vulnerable. Okay, this hatchery is going to go down, but on the other side of the map, we have the Baneling roll by. The door is open. And here come the Banelings into the mineral line. And 5 SCVs go down. I think you should have just detonated them all there and not tried to split. All right, Marines get surrounded. Oh! The Baneling connections are devastating. All right, the 4th for Vrog goes down, but he had a 5th. He is still way ahead of Checo in terms of bases. Doom drop into the main, trying to snipe the Baneling nest. Focus fire. Good micro from Checo. Focus down that Baneling nest. Baneling nest goes down. What else can we get? Can we get some drones? More Ling kills. But here come the rest of the Banelings rolling in. That is a whole lot of dead Marines. Dissolved into nothing. I do think it's a little bit ridiculous that Banelings deal basically... I don't think they deal any splash damage to ally units. But like every other splash damage in existence, whether that's tanks, widow mines, storms, disruptors, like every other splash damage in existence in this game will deal damage to friendlies. Now, Checo, you've got the door open still. Last time you left that door open, a whole bunch of Banelings rolled in and killed your workers. But we are just going with like relentless pushes here from the side of Checo. Leapfrogging our tanks. Sniping drones. 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 drones go down. Hatcheries at half health. Man with gun is pretty good. Hatchery goes down at the 5th base. But here come the Ling counterattacks from behind. The wraparound on the tanks. And the Banelings, you need to pick up and get out of there, Checo. Microing, targeting Banelings. Off creep, you might have a chance. Oh, but those are some good Baneling connections. We do not get the pickup. You know, I said I wouldn't want to be a Marine in Coral Viper's army, but I think I want to be a Marine in Checo's army even less. All right, I like the number of Marauders we're adding on. If you can get the Marauders to the front of the pack, they will definitely soak more Baneling hits because they're armored than the Marines will. We got this hatchery here, half health, killed what was the 5th base, but, you know, Vrog is up to 6 bases currently. Well, making his 6th base. Hydras are going to knock down this wall over here. But I don't know how much this Hydra push can actually really get done with 1-1 upgrades. Okay, we intercept the Baneling roll by. A couple of Marines go down to it, but... Oh, that is all the Hydras showing up. Now, here comes Checo's army, stemmed in. And it kind of feels like you just threw these Hydras away. Like, yes, you got some army damage, you got a bit of the wall, but... what did you really accomplish? You didn't get any economic damage, you didn't get... You put on a little bit of pressure, but I don't think that Hydras are it. Yes, Hydras don't take bonus damage from, like, Marauders, for example, but that's about the only thing they have going for them. I'd be looking for, like, Lurkers. You have a Hive. Some Hive Tech Lurkers might be good. But honestly, like, Vrog is probably a better Zerg player than I am. I think he's, like, right on the edge of Diamond or Diamond as a Zerg player. Didn't really have a chance to look him up. I'm certainly rusty with Zerg. So take anything I say with a grain of salt, basically. All right. And there are the Lurkers, so maybe I did have that right, but they are not burrowed. And so many of them go down before they could ever get burrowed and have a chance to fight back. We are still going very heavily into Banelings despite the number of Marauders. This is almost a pure Marauder ball at this point. All right, we are almost finishing the Adaptive Talons. Oh no, 1 Lurker gets picked off. 2 Lurkers get picked off. 3 Lurkers! They were move commanded with the rest of the army, I think. All right, we do get some good connections with the Banelings, but again, they don't do as much damage to Marauders. The Hydra army is falling. Seems like we moved completely into a Hydra swap right now. We might be on our last legs for Vrog right now. Checo has been pressuring him all game. And while he was dealing with the pressure pretty well early on, it is relentless. As more bio comes across the map. Liberators now, too. Checo on 4 bases strong. Actually on almost even numbers of workers as Vrog. 60 to 68 plus mules. And Checo is just rallying forces across the map into the meat grinder. All right, we got a couple of liberators here that seem to have been forgotten. And Vrog is going for a big Baneling morph. All right, Checo finds the Banelings, but will it be in time? Oh, the Marauder concussive shells slow them just enough that they don't get a good connection on that bio ball. All right, more Lurkers coming up from the side of Vrog. I feel like if he gets enough Lurkers out, he will be able to stabilize. 2 Liberators get sniped by the Hydras with the speed upgrade that I almost never see used. And we are still expanding on the side of the Zerg. We are currently on 5 bases to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bases. But no, usually you see Terran start to turtle up at this point. You know, all the planetary fortresses in the world come out. But I'm actually pretty impressed by the pressure that Checo is putting on. He's not sitting back. He is not allowing the Zerg to just try to run into his fortress. He is taking the fight to the Zerg and pressing him the entire time. And Checo's been up in army supply actually pretty consistently for a very good chunk of this game. All right, the Lurker Hydra run by gets defended and deflected. Nothing really to say for it. Vrog is spending all his money, and Checo's getting a pretty decent bank built up, and he's still behind about 40 army supply. All right, Checo's moving in on the right side here. This hatchery is absolutely going to fall. There is nothing that can save it. Drones are being run home. And now the Zerg Baneling Ball comes in. So many Marines going down, but the tank shots are huge. That's like 6 tanks that all fired at the same time. Now, that was a huge dip in Checo's army. We just watched Vrog's army go from 70 or 80 to 27. I don't think that Vrog can hold this next push. I think Checo's going to keep rallying army across the map and pushing in here. And with these tanks in this position, it's going to be very hard to break this position. All right, Marines go. They stem in, targeting down the extractor and the Nexus, or not Nexus, sorry, hatchery. I can't speak today. Targeting down the hatchery. It falls. I think Vrog is on his last legs. There's going to be a desperate attempt to hold here. The Lurkers don't get morphed in. If you're Vrog, how do you hold this? 45 to 114 army supply. It's all turning up Checo in this game here. Moves in, Overlords falling by the dozen. Balloons getting popped. The Banelings go in. The bio gets cleaned up, but there's so many tanks and Liberators. And more army is just streaming across the map. GG is called by Vrog. Game 1 goes to Checo. Wow, what a game. We're going to be on Tourmaline for our next map. Vrog is ready, just waiting on Checo. Like, honestly, like, Vrog probably feels pretty bad about that loss, but it was really a pretty close game for a large chunk of that. but Checo's aggression was relentless. All right, getting to game 2, Checo and Vrog. Oh, fuck, I made it with the wrong map. Whoops, I'm a fucking ape. All right, now into the proper map and mod, because I'm an ape that cannot properly read, apparently. All right. In the bottom corner with the blue Zerg drones, we have Vrog. And in the top corner with the red Terran pieces, we have Checo. Get those sides swapped. I've never actually made that mistake while casting a game, but you know, it's the first time for everything. Okay. What are we doing in this game? Everything looks standard so far. Hatch, gas, pool. SCV scout from Checo. Just make sure there's no shenanigans. And then got the same opener from Checo. Probably going to go into a Reaper. Yep, there's the Reaper. There's the orbital. I learned this opener from Euthermal's Terran School way back in the day. Checo just scouting to make sure there's nothing weird going on. No pool first, no shenanigans. And what do we got here? Reaper is out. Okay, now we're going across the map. Queens are up. Safety lings are building. All right, Reaper's going to hop up into the main base here. Just before the queen pops, maybe we have time to get a drone, but probably not. Sees the pool wiggling. But the queen will keep those drones all nice and safe. Checo probably not going to be able to get a drone kill this game. All right, Vrog going for the third base. I like that he is putting Zerglings preemptively in place so that he can catch if the Reaper tries to go in again. Checo starting the wall off, swapping the buildings. Gonna get some Reapers, some Hellions, maybe some Liberators out again. Checo plays very standard, and he is very good at playing standard, from what I've seen. Alright, Reaper scouts the third base, and the timing of it. Gonna try to get something done. Nope. Immediately backs off, seeing the queens there. Scouting around. Lings are no longer on the jump pad, but probably going to regroup with some Hellions and go for a little bit of pressure. Ooh, is it going to be Banshees? I think it's going to be Banshees. Hell yeah. So we're going Reaper, Hellion, Banshee. I love it. Change it up just a little bit. Keep them guessing. All right, one Hellion is separated. Probably going to go down. Yep, Zergling's chasing after. Oh, it's one hit. Has literally 2 health left. Oh, if the queens could have sniped it, that would have been good. All right, so this aggression from Checo gets easily defended because of a little bit of a misrally across the map. All right, Evo chambers pop up. We are getting spores in the main base. I don't know if we saw the Banshee or if it's just a precaution, because when he did all this aggression last time, he also had a Liberator. But those spores are a great preemptive spores, great read. All right, our lair is only halfway done, which means we can't build overseers yet. Oh no, the Lings moved away just as the Hellions went for the main. Oh, that is so unfortunate. The Hellions do go down. Oh no, they're attacking the ground. I hate this. I misclicked this by accident all the fucking time, and 7 drones go down. Oh, I would be so salty about that. I honestly would be. 4th base coming up for Vrog. Lings maybe looking for a bit of a counterattack over on the other side of the map, or just scouting around, seeing what's there. Banshees are ready to swoop in like birds of prey. All right. Good creep spread so far from Vrog. Now, these Banshees are kind of just sitting there, not really doing anything. Going for maybe like an anti-timing where you would just never expect Banshees. So, Vrog looking to go for a Baneling bust, potentially. Okay, so we're going to maybe go for drops over here with Banshees over in the main. Oh, the Scouting Viking sees the bust. Good scout from Checo. All right. We've got a tank and 8 Marines here. This is probably just going to be a diversion so that the Banshees can go into the main. All right, I think we're going to send this army back. Baneling speed is almost complete. That's going to be huge. Okay, Banshees try to go into the 4th. Ooh, one of them gets sniped. Good pickup. And the tank Marine drop gets cleaned up as well. So far, this is being really well held by Vrog. Oh, we've got an Overseer. This Banshee gets picked off. Those Banshees not really getting anything done. Man, I thought that they were going to be so good, honestly. All right, looks like we are going for a massive Baneling bust. If Vrog can keep Checo on 2 bases while he is on 4, he should be able to win. The hard part is keeping them on only 2 bases. Okay, this is the time. The tanks aren't sieged. No, that's the moment. You got to go with more than 5. But these tanks are not sieged. This is the perfect time. Okay, all of the tanks go down. The entire army is dead. Vrog will not be able to push into this, but he has prevented Checo from actively getting resources at this 3rd base. Oh, you got to keep the pressure on. Meanwhile, Vrog's expanding to a 5th and a 6th base. But good pressure. You know, we're getting up to that 70-80 drone count that will allow him to remax instantly while playing this this Zergling Baneling focused style. Honestly, this base is in such a risky position. I think Vrog can just go and... Oh man, this is so many Banelings. Like, this is actually an over amount of Banelings, I think. Vehicle weapons 1 research completed, and then 1 infantry completed as well. That's going to be huge. I think +1 melee also has finished now for the side of Vrog. Gotta go with more than that, man. You're a swarm. Yeah, splitting the army, that's a good plan, but there are some Widow Mines. Right, like, I don't think that if the entire army comes collapsing in, that there's enough to hold out from here. Like, yes, there's some tanks at home. The natural probably doesn't get killed, but... Yeah. Alright, Zerglings are going in. Baneling connections on the tank, on the Marauders. Not really what you want, but some of them get into the mineral line. 8 SCVs go down. And the Zerg should be able to remax this army almost instantly. This is the pressure that Checo's attacking his own supply depot with the Marine. Alright, there is a small Marauder drop in the top corner, but 12 SCVs going down for the side of Checo, losing a good chunk of his army, and I don't think he has the production just yet to max it out as fast as the Zerg does. And even if he has the production to do so, he likely will not have the resources to do so, being only on effectively 2 bases right now. But mules are pretty good. Oh, that was a Hydra remax. No wonder his bank disappeared. I think that Vrog needs to max out now just on like Zerg Bane. Play like Ling Bane Hydra. Sorry, not Zerg Bane, Ling Bane. And that would be huge. The benefit of playing Lings is that they are so cheap. They don't trade cost effectively, and Banelings especially do not trade cost effectively, but they are so cheap. Oh no. Oh no, the Widow Mines! Couple of connections, but not anything too serious. 9 lurkers morphing in. Yeah, I think that Vrog is taking a page out of Checo's book. Oh, the scan just barely misses them. Vrog is taking a page out of Checo's book this game and playing with the relentless aggression of this run by will get so much damage done. Ooh, good split. And into the mineral line they go. Mules going down, Lings going down. Banelings going right by the army. They don't care. Lurkers are move commanded, or we're gonna get them burrowed. This Hydra force. There's so much going on. I think the Banelings got cleaned up, but 14 workers going down. You need to burrow those Hydras, brother. Or not Hydras, the Lurkers. You need to burrow the Lurkers. I don't think that these Lurkers have their range upgrades or their speed upgrades right now. They're kind of sitting ducks, but 28 SCVs going down. This pretty much forces Checo right now into an all-in. He needs to go and he needs to get damage done. But Zerg is on 152 to 70 supply. He's on 74 to 55 army supply. And the income is just too much. I think that even if it is not held cost effectively with primarily Zerglings, that there is not enough in this army. Oh, I don't think we even need the Lurkers here right now. But there is not enough to keep, or to inflict major damage, I don't think, on Vrog from Checo. Alright, Zerglings are being, or sorry, not Zerglings, drones. I can't speak today. Okay, we need to get like some Lings circling around. Alright, the Lurkers are being run in. Hydra's picking off Vipers and tanks. Not Vipers. I just cannot speak. Liberators and tanks alike. This has been such an awful cast, honestly. I am doing so bad today. It has been months since I've casted. Vrog, you can't take your foot off the gas. You gotta go. Keep the pressure up. Or those mules will kick the Terran's economy right back into action. Checo maybe going for a doom drop. Channeling his inner Beyond of, you know, when in doubt and the game seems lost, go for a doom drop and see what happens. Do we have, it just says burrow, it doesn't say what about the other upgrades for Lurkers. Looks like the range upgrade, I think that is half finished. That is so many Lurkers. That is so many fucking Lurkers. Yeah, losses. Checo has been trading way more cost effectively than Vrog has, but the eco has been so much better on the side of Vrog that he is willing to take those losses for the most part. This is why I'm saying, though, that Vrog does need to kind of keep his foot on the gas, because if he gives Checo a chance to mine up, to reinforce, to rebuild his army, you know, to spread out, get more bases, going to make it very difficult to close this out. Don't fall into the trap, keeping your entire army at home for a couple of medevacs. You don't know what's in them. Oh no. You should just be able to go across the map and end this. You're maxed out. It's 199 to 103. Burrow the Lurkers, burrow the Lurkers, burrow the Lurkers, burrow the Lurkers! That is so many Lurkers, Jesus. Yeah, and now you just leapfrog them. You slowly move up over time. Their range should be basically equal to tanks with the range upgrade that I think, yeah, it's done. Here come the Lings and Banes from behind. And we just leapfrog. You do need to take out those Liberators. Oof. The army's getting absolutely massacred. And Checo calls GG. We have a series on our hands. Holy! That was a game. That was an exciting fucking game. Okay, get Checo moved up there. Go from Vrog, go from Checo. All right, let's get into game 3. I bet Vrog is riding very high off that momentum. And good for him to shake off that loss in game 1 and to come back and absolutely crush in game 2. All right. Now, in the top corner with the blue Zerg drones, we have Vrog. And in the bottom corner with the red Terran SCVs, we have Checo. All right. So, Vrog shook off game 1, came roaring right back to beat Checo. Kept on some relentless aggression, didn't let him expand, didn't let him get set up. And kept him really on his heels, I felt, for most, if not all, of that game. This is a good opportunity, while not much is happening. We're going to drink a bit of water. Rest my voice. All right. So it looks like just standard builds coming out of Checo and Vrog again. Yes. Imagine we'll see a pool. Yep, there's the pool. Hatch gas pool, hatch gas pool. Supply depot. Barracks into Reaper. Yep, there's the Reaper. So, standard builds from both these guys, not really changing too much up. SCV Scout from Checo. Overlord's about to see the timing of the natural. Reaper is out, going across the map. Queens are in production. Safety links are in production. Nothing too crazy. All in all, pretty standard. All right, Reaper is in, but the Queen is about to pop. Lings are there. We get the extractor. No drone kill today, Checo. Might get a Ling. Oh. 4, yeah. So far, good defense from Vrog. Oh, Checo gets one with the grenade. I think we're just sending the Lings across the map to try and get a little bit of damage done and defend with just the Queens. Interesting. But we didn't rally them to the base. Not entirely sure what we were doing with this little move out and why we sent them there. Checo flying the barracks up, looking for overlords, but they're not there. They moved off some time ago. Now, normally if you're flying the barracks up to scout for overlords like that, you're doing something that's a little cheeky. But Checo just looks like he's playing completely standard. Oh, we did let these both finish. So we are down a little bit in terms of workers of where we should be for this early in the game. But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. We got Lings that are running around in case the Reaper tries to jump back in. Now, Vrog is only on 2 bases right now. So, yeah, there it is. I was like, is this going to be 2-base Muta? And just before I could say it, there goes the Spire. Now, if I'm Checo, Vrog has played like 3-base, 4-base, whatever, pretty much every game. Also, if Vrog doesn't build more, and these Hellions just walk right in. Ooh, Hellbat push. This is actually going to be really hard to hold. There's no roaches. The Spire isn't done yet. The Queens block the entryway. Oh boy. Vrog is in a world of trouble. Went for a greedy 2-base Muta all in. And now has nothing to actually deal with these Hellbats. I missed the armory go down for Checo. But I had a feeling when he was scouting around that something was different. Getting some spines built. Oh, but these are going to get roasted. Honestly, you need to get, like, the Mutas out because he has nothing that can shoot up. Oh, those Lings got absolutely roasted by the Hellbats. Transfuses, we have no energy. We're trying to get some Mutas. This is such a big push. It's the Penguin Brothers push. I think that was Hellbats and Marauders and what was the other one? Vikings by Euthermal. Called it the Penguin Brothers. Ooh, well. The Mutas pop. There's only 3 of them. And the drones are getting barbecued. Vrog calls GG. What a push from the side of Checo. Woo! What a game. All right. It means we are on to Winter Madness. For game number 4. Vrog says ready. Just waiting on Checo. All right, Checo needs a minute. Vrog, I should scout. Yeah, you probably would have spotted it. You'd done a bit of scouting, but honestly, as an observer, I missed that the armory had gone down and that it was going to be Hellbats. So, but yeah, I'd probably feel the same way, honestly. Check the bracket. So no updated score yet from Coral Viper and Saito on the other side of the bracket. Got Vrog and Checo that are currently at 2-1 in favor of Checo. This is a best of 5, so this is potentially match, or well, this is match point for Checo. All right. Alrighty, getting into game number 4 on Winter Madness LE. In the bottom corner, we have Vrog with the blue Zerg drones. And in the top corner with the red Terran SCVs, we have Checo. I haven't had a chance to play on this map very much. I haven't been playing in this map pool very often. I've been pretty busy lately. But I fucking love the name Winter Madness. This is a Mars map, and that means that it's named after songs from Finnish metal bands. In this case, Winter Sun, one of my all-time favorites. Winter Madness was one of the songs off their opening, or off their first album. Phenomenal track. All right. So I assume we are just going to see some standard openers from both these players again. Been very standard. Hatch, Gas, Pool. Gladipo, Barracks, Reaper. With an SCV Scout. Now, Vrog did try to go a little bit greedy in the last game. Tried to go for a 2-base Muta all-in. But didn't scout that Checo was also doing a Hellbat all-in. And Checo's hit first, unfortunately. Now, with no roaches and nothing to really hold it, the Hellbats just went marching in and barbecued lings and drones alike. All right. SCV gets the scout. Orbital finishing. Natural about a third of the way done. Very, very standard. Gonna see our safety lings start. Reaper going across. Got our nice ALT logo there in the middle of the map. Might have gotten spotted by the Overlord. Oh, this one should certainly spot him. Gonna jump up into the Zerglings. Queens are about to finish. Uh-oh. Drone about to get picked off, apparently. All right, Ling speed is only halfway done, so these Lings cannot catch the Reaper. But they're just trying to buy time and give the drone a chance to get the hatchery down. But the Reaper is blocking it. He's being a real jerk. And the drone goes down. That is so unfortunate. And he is out of there. Sayonara, Zerglings. See you later. All right, taking the rest of our gases in the main for Vrog. Ooh, we're going for a Cyclone early on the side of Checo. This is not a unit we've seen him build in this series so far. with the Cyclone upgrade. So are we looking to play like mech this game? Or are we looking to just do like a mass Cyclone tank kind of build? Interesting. Oh, we do get some scouting done, but the Overlord gets popped by the Cyclone. But Vrog does have the info that there is a Cyclone on the map. That it is not, in fact, going to be the standard Hellions that Checo has gone for every single game. How will Vrog respond? So we've got roaches already on the production tab. Haven't seen him make roaches, I think, so far in this series. It has been mostly Lingbane. Lingbane Hydra. Reaper is going out for more scouting. Speedlings do find the Reaper. All right, we're gonna nom him. All right, Reaper goes down. Checo slowly building his wall of depots across the natural. And now the Lings should see, hopefully he was watching, they see that this is indeed, 3 Cyclones. It means we're going for probably a pretty significant number of them. Oh, Blue Flame is on the production tab. Probably a good investment for the Hellions, especially if you are planning on playing mech. And 4 Cyclones are now going across the map. So we need some good creep spread so that roaches and the Lings can help catch them. Honestly here, you need some Lings to kind of wrap around the Cyclone so that they cannot just kite away. There is so much damage going down onto this hatchery. Oh, and the Cyclones just get out. The way wasn't blocked by the roaches. That is unfortunate. 2 Cyclones for a hatchery, I feel like is probably worth. Vrog is running low on minerals. He's actually at less workers than Checo is right now. Never a good position to be in if you are the Zerg player. And there go the poor helpless larva. All right, we do get the Overlord Scout here, so we will see that this is Terran mech, which should have been obvious by the number of Cyclones already, but there's an armory going down. I don't know if we got that Scout on the side. We saw something, but probably didn't get a chance to click on it, though I would assume being built that back there is either an engineering bay or an armory. All right, the Roach Ravager is going across the map as Checo is running. Vrog will see them, though, because of the Overlord Scouts. But does he decide to... Oh, the instant wall raise from Checo. Oh, there's a second armory that's actually in the wall. Snipe the Widow Mine. And we are just going for damage. 7 SCVs going down. 11 SCVs. 15 SCVs. That's basically the entire mineral line. It's gone down. And now we lose all the roaches, and we only get a couple of Cyclones, but for that level of economic damage, it very well may have been worth it. Yeah. Roaches, unfortunately, even with speed, cannot outrun Cyclones. That's really where you need to kind of get some Lings to go with them to wrap around and either rip the Cyclones apart, or it gives you time to run away with some of those more advanced units. All right, we're getting a bunch of Ravagers. Right now, we're on 2 base versus 2 base. And that's generally not a situation you want to be in as Zerg. Zerg really thrives when they have more bases, more units, more economy. All right, Ravagers getting some damage onto the loading barracks that is just there to provide vision. Oh shit, that is a lot more Ravagers. But we are moving in right now. You are not going to have time to morph these Ravagers, I don't think. Oh, barracks moves into the Ravager vials. Now, Ravagers are actually going to be better against the tanks than roaches are, because Ravagers, unlike roaches, are not armored units. Little bit of sniping back and forth, bios being shot, cyclones locking on. Checo is just trying to put on the pressure here. Okay, a couple of bios hitting the Zerg army. Those are huge bios for the side of the Zerg. Doing a lot of damage to the Ravagers. Which is not at all what you want in this scenario. Alright. Looks like Checo is going to back off for now. The barracks may well burn to death before it can get repaired. But Vrog needs to get another Patry, or he needs to end this game. Now, luckily, he got a lot of damage done. He is still up by 1 worker, but mules are very good. The barracks burns to death. Ooh, that is so many roaches. Oh no, they're move commanded. Okay. Cyclone's going down. They ran face first into a roach army, and while the roaches were move commanded and did not have the ability, and were not hitting when they ran face first into these cyclones, it looks like Vrog is going to march right into Checo's base. And he's not going for minerals now. He's going straight for the production. Okay, the wall falls. The boys are pulled as the cyclones pop. We need to move and target fire. 16 SCVs going down. 17. 21. And there's 1 cyclone left in the main base as a liberator is about to pop. But I think that liberator is not going to be enough. 25 SCVs currently going down, and Checo calls GG. Vrog takes game number 4 to keep his tournament dreams alive. Is back up against the wall. I already remembered why I don't play mech as Checo. All right, this means we are going to Mothership for the final match of this series, the Ace map, which can also be called the map that nobody wanted to actually play because no one picked it. All right, let's get into this one. And I know Checo hates this map, but I don't think Vrog likes it particularly much either. Okay. Just waiting on these two to let me know they are ready, and then we will get into it. Still no word on Saito and Oral Viper on the other side of the map. They have not updated their standings. Bit of chatting from the players currently. I think I lacked shields. Cyclones moved away. Terran don't get shields. But he may have just meant meat shields, to be fair. All right, this is the final map for this series, and then we have a best of 7 in the finals. And I'm not sure who is winning, Saito or Coral Viper currently. Whoop. All right. In game number 5, this final game, match point of this best of 5 series with the blue Zerg drones, we have Vrog. And in the other corner, the red Terran SUVs, we have Checo. So I know neither of them likes this map. They just didn't have the vetoes to not play it, and they forgot that it was in the map pool, I guess, or had other maps that they disliked more. So immediately Checo going for the scout. Vrog doing a drone scout and a overlord scout. With this being a 3-player map, there's one of 3 places that you could be. And you don't know, unlike the 2-player maps, where your opponent is going to start. All right, Vrog found Checo right away. And Checo did not find Vrog, but that means he knows exactly where Vrog is. And because it's not like this is an Adept or a Reaper going across, he will just be able to send his Reaper to Vrog's base on spawn. 3-player maps can be a little bit chaotic at times. SCV's going just to scout, see what's what. Reaper starts up. Also, I totally feel Checo on the mech. The little bit of Terran I do play, anytime I play mech, I just seem to lose. Oh, there's a fucking bunker. And I don't think Vrog can see it because the hatch doesn't have full vision. Oh no, I hate that so much. So the Reaper will just get to sit in the bunker and shoot at the drones for free. All right, now he'll see it. Now he doesn't know if he's being bunker rushed or what's going on here. So, but he should see it. Please tell me Vrog has noticed. Yeah, tons of Zerglings on the production tab. Oh, the Reaper can jump in. I didn't realize there was a jump pad there. Oh, this is just so annoying, honestly. Every time I see stuff like this, and I've had stuff like this done to me as a Protoss player, and every time it is so annoying. Need to hit the SCV, or just not get hit. Okay. Now, Checo is still macroing at home, but there are a whole bunch of Zerglings and not a whole lot at home to stop them. We have decided to forsake our own base and to go for Checo's instead, which I actually think is a good strategy. Get the one Marine that was there, kill an SCV. We are preventing the expansion. And honestly, all Checo's really doing with this is he is slowing down the economy a little bit, not getting any actual damage other than forcing out a spine. And now if we put the Lings down there, there's nowhere for the Reaper to escape to. Oh, we're going further in with the Reaper. Oh, get sniped by the spine. Well, technically that's 2 worker kills for Vrog, so you have metabolic boost completed now. So I think Vrog is in the driver's seat of this one so far. That was a bit of a frustrating play to deal with from Checo, but I think he responded very well. So it'll be interesting to see how Checo, where he goes from here. Okay, so we have the Hellions looking to try and get some damage done across the map. But with a couple of queens, some speedlings, a spine crawler, I don't think they're going to be able to get too much. The Zergling should be able to wrap around them. Or just straight up deflect. Alright, they are trying to focus down the queen at the third. But it seems like not much is going to come of this. A couple of lings get barbecued, but Hellions are going down. We lost 2 Hellions. Didn't get any eco damage, but there is a Banshee there before Cloak. And it will go down to the... Oh, no, the perfect transfuse timing. And the Banshee gets sniped just seconds before Cloak. Wait a second. What is this, Checo? What is this? I hope that some spore crawlers get built in the bases of Vrog because he saw the Banshee. Or when this battle's cruiser pops. Oh my god. Alright, we got some Hellions at the top looking for the barbecue. You have some spore crawlers building. Alright, 2 drones go down, 4 drones go down, 6 drones go down, 11 drones go down. It's a massacre. Massacre, bloodbath, carnage, butchery. 13 drones in total go down to that Hellion run by. That fucking hurts. Now, that being said, Vrog is still up 11 workers, sorry, almost 20 workers now to Checo. Is there a battle cruiser somewhere out on this map? Yep, going across. And may have been seen by a scout. See what Vrog can see. Okay, he does see the fusion core there. He did have vision of it at some point, so. Now, the usual counter to BCs is you go Aspire and you get a fuck ton of Corruptors. Hydra's not a good counter to BCs. Hydras get barbecued by BCs, generally. Alright, so we do have a queen. We have a spore crawler. Will Checo manually target drones? Nope. Does get some damage on the queen. Almost gets a drone. Couple of drones go down to the Hellion run by. All the Hellions die, though. None are left to tell the tale. And with transfuses and spore crawlers, this battle cruiser is likely to be deflected. But there are more battle cruisers that are operational. All right, we get the jump. Going back for repairs. That is a lot of queens. 4th base going up for the side of Vrog. So now we have a couple of BCs out. But where do we go from here, Checo? You did get some significant damage done with the Hellions initially. But it was kind of deflected. It wasn't really enough, and now you're down 20 workers. And the swarm is coming, and you don't have tanks. Now, these BCs, theoretically, nothing really here can shoot up. The BCs, theoretically, will be enough for Checo to stay alive, especially since there's no Corruptors, no Hydras, no nothing currently in the army. But this is not a strong composition. This is 38 army supply of Terran mech units, most of which is going to be BCs. Oh, that was a really good pullback by Checo. A really good split off of those Banes to force Checo to pull back. Uh-oh. Found you. All right, Zergling's getting barbecued left and right. But they've decided to ignore the army and see if they can get in. Oh, there's a gap! No way, there's a gap! Oh, that is so painful. 9 SCVs go down. Maybe more. 15 SCVs go down when Checo was already down 20 workers. This is honestly putting him in all-in territory right now. But we do have corruptors on the field. Vrog has 9 corruptors, but you can't go too heavily into corruptors here. They're not the only threat. The BCs, I mean. There we go. 20 Lings coming out. 20 Lings should be enough to wrap around and kill most of that ground army. This army is just so small from the side in terms of like actual units. In terms of and what it can do for Checo. Like, BCs are huge. Don't get me wrong. But I'm really worried that this army is going to get caught out, and that's basically just going to be GG. Oh, that is so many corruptors. Okay. We lost the command on the corruptors there. 1 BC goes down. 2 BCs go down, and they don't have tactical jump. I don't really know what that jump was. I think that was a misclick from Checo. Maybe he meant to do Yamato cannons. Or he was trying to jump in that last BC from home, because there were only 3 that went across. There was a 4th one, I think, at home. We need more Lings or like something here, Vrog. Also, according to Loco TV, if you use XD in anything, you are confirmed to be over the age of 30. I don't make the rules. But that is definitely a millennial thing to use. Alright, we got roaches out. Honestly, I feel like Lings are better at wrapping around, especially because roach speed is not even done here. And they're cheaper. But now, if Vrog can stop Checo's expansions here, like, he has done so much damage to Checo. If he can stop the expansions, I don't know if he even realizes that these expansions are happening or what. But he has gotten so much damage done that if he just goes across and kills like these expansions, keep Checo on 2 bases like he did back in game 2 when he won. Like, this should just be a done deal of a game. He cannot let these bases get up and running. All right, I think we're waiting for road speed at this point, but we actually have like way too many corruptors. There's basically no air. So unless you're going to go and turn those into brood lords, which he is getting the greater spire, we have way too many corruptors at the moment. Or you just like put the corruptors around the map and get them to just like randomly start peeing on the structures with that caustic spittle or whatever it is they do. All right, we've got to fight though. The roaches are going in. The cyclones are kiting back. A couple of cyclones go down, a couple of roaches go down, and both sides kind of part amicably, deciding they don't want to fight this to the very death. Oh man, like, Vrog is up 20 workers still on Checo, but Checo took so much worker damage. All right, holy, we're morphing all the corruptors into broods. You might need a couple of them still. But fuck, that is a lot of broods. 12 brood lords. Brood lord roach. Get a couple more. You need some anti-air just to protect those brood lords though. All right, Hellions get picked off. Some cyclones get sniped. Right, roaches are going in. They're getting fried. Slowly The queen is working on that one liberator. Oh, does Checo see the broods? I don't know if he did. He should have. They're in full view of the scan. Ooh, one-shotting that cyclone with all those broodlings. Now, I think they did nerf the broodling duration, if I'm not mistaken, because they were a little bit ridiculous, but looks like we're going into Skyzerg here. Scourge? I still have nightmares from Brood War of Scourge flying into my carriers. All right, Checo needs to be like, okay, he's going for Thors. Vikings, also good against Broodlords. If you have the resources, which I think he's got a couple, I would just start pumping out a couple Vikings too. Just anything you can get to try and deal with these Broodlords. Oh no, the army is split. They're misrallied. Tanks are getting picked off by Broodlings. This is very unfortunate. Oh man. Thors are coming out with their long-range cannons. It might seem counterintuitive, but Zerglings, tiny little Zerglings, are incredible against Thors. Because Thors, yes, they one-shot them, but they can only do single target damage. Alright, the Broodlings are moving in. The Thors are shooting them, but I think the Thors are on the splash damage. They're not on the long range. And you're supposed to use the long range cannons to counter Broodlords. Tanks going down. Cyclones are all dead. Thors are down. The last couple Hellions trying to escape, but more Thors are here. Can they hold? Oh, but we are actually killing the production in the main right now with Broodlords. While more Thors try to deal with the Broodlords at the front. Oh, that is just such a huge wave of Broodlings. It just destroys those Thors. Alright, Checo calls GG. And Vrog takes the series 3-2.
Suscríbete y dale a like si quieres. Suscríbete y dale a like si quieres. Ni, no, ni, no, ni, no, ni, no, ni.